Hey everyone, my name is Ryan13. Welcome to my channel. It's my first time making a YouTube video, so apologies if things aren't polished, professional, cuts are bad, anything like that. Like I said, first time, brand new. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my WWE thoughts, opinions, things that are going to be going on, and it's 2025 predictions. This idea was inspired by Santi's app. Huge shout out to him. Big fan. I don't watch him super consistently, but I wanted to at least share that I got the idea from him, watching him go through his recap of the 2024 predictions he did. And so this is my first attempt at making a video. I thought, hey, why not start off the new year with 2025 predictions? I know he's posted his. I saw a few superstars for it just to get an idea. So if video seems similar, that's why. Not trying to copy his content, but also trying to get a foot in the door and learn. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to learn. So I've been a diehard fan of wrestling for a few years now. Just really getting into it again after COVID. I was a big fan pre-COVID, of course. Bought my first title recently, a few weeks ago, a month ago now maybe. Today I'm going to dive into the main roster for WWE, SmackDown and Raw for the most part, but also some NXT superstars, along with a few bonuses at the end, just for the fun of it. You know, why not? If you love wrestling, consider giving me a like and subscribing. I want to make more content like this. I'd love to share it and have a community. Something that I've enjoyed for a while is wrestling. I have a predictions thing that me and my friends do, but I'd love to start a community where we do that as well. Who do you think is gonna be the main event of WrestleMania this year? That's what I want to know. I got my predictions. I know it's not going to be The Rock. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the first superstar, starting with AJ Styles. I'm saying he's going to face John Cena in a major PLE match, maybe not a main event, but he's going to face John Cena one more time because they had a good feud back in, I think, 2018, 2017 over the title. I think AJ Styles is going to win one of the mid-card titles, but I think this is kind of going to be his last big year wrestling. I think he's at that point. I think 2025 was that age or time when he said he was going to like dwindle it back. And I think he's going to have one more nice run, going to get a mid-card title, US or maybe Intercontinental title, and finally get a chance to have a crack at that scene. Plus, he doesn't need a world title anymore. He's past his prime. I'm not saying he's bad at all. Next is Akam. I think he's gonna win a tag team title with his brother Razor. Just not at a major PLE. I think he's gonna win it on a random TV episode. Or if it is at a PLE, it's gonna be like one of the entry or pre-show match. Maybe a pre-show at Mania if they still do that. Akira Tozawa is going to have a run at a mid-card title, come this close to winning it, but not actually have it happen. Alba Fire is part of winning the tag team titles for a week and then loses it the next week. Like they win it on a Monday, lose it the following Monday or a Friday. Alex Shelley wins the tag team titles back at WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss makes a surprise return at entrant number 13 in the Women's Royal Rumble and makes it to the Final Four, but she doesn't win any major titles this year. She might push for a mid-card title, but no major titles this year. Andrade wins the US title at WrestleMania. Andre Chase has the entrance in the Royal Rumble, but doesn't do anything of work on the main roster. I think he gets called up though. Angel has 2 PLE tag team title matches, but loses both. Angelo Dawkins wins tag team gold with Montez Ford, only to lose him and turn heel on Ford. Apollo Crews gets released. I don't see him going anywhere. Ashante the Adonis also gets released. Asuka has a main event PLE match for a title, loses, and announces her retirement. Maybe not right away, but she's going to be retiring sometime this year. I'm feeling it. I'm calling it now. Austin Theory turns babyface and teams up with Johnny Gargano. Axiom does some pretty cool moves, gets a main roster call-up. I think he's ready, but as the mid-card scene. Bayley wins a world championship twice and feuds with Jade Cargill, not because she attacked her. B-Fab leaves the Street Profits, creates a tag team with Naomi. Bianca Belair has a major feud with Jade Cargill this year. I think Bianca attacked her. I do. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, but I think that would be a good way to get her going into Mania so they can have a Mania match so they both are there for a reason without needing a title. Because putting a title on one of them for a match isn't relevant here. I think they can make a nice quick blood feud going. Blair Davenport challenges for a mid-card title and a world title, loses to both, but then wins Money in the Bank. I think she's the one to put the title on because she'd be a good heel for it, and it would throw everyone off. Berto loses alongside Angel at 2 PLE matches for tag title gold. Braun Strowman turns heel, teams with Bronson Reed, I know it's a stretch, and they form a massive mountain of men tag team that run rampage through all the tag teams, but they don't win tag team gold this year. I don't think they would. Braun Breaker holds the Intercontinental Championship until WrestleMania and nearly wins Money in the Bank. Other than that, I could dance around the main event scene, the main title scene. Bronson Reed teams with Braun Strowman and they just wreak havoc. They just wreak havoc, destroy the roster. Brutus Creed wins tag team gold with his brother, and the Brutus Ball becomes a crowd favorite. Candice LeRae turns on Nia Jax to help Tiffany Stratton win the title, and the three of them have a triple threat match. Carlito gets his shit rocked by Raquel. Carmelo Hayes wins the US title, but eventually loses it to Trick Williams. Spoiler. Cedric Alexander somehow still works here. He's getting released. But let's say he wins the TNA title, just for fun. Chad Gable ain't winning crap this year. Plain and simple. He's not winning a title. He hasn't in the past. Maybe a tag title, but no singles title for Chad Gable. Chelsea Green loses the title to Piper Niven at WrestleMania. Chris Sabin wins tag team gold twice. CM Punk wins the Money in the Bank briefcase for the third time in his career. Then, night of SummerSlam, cashes in on the winner of that match, no spoilers, and then he keeps it until WrestleMania of next year, and main events WrestleMania that way by holding the title. Even further predicting, saying that Roman and The Rock are feuding for the main event, and then the favor is, nah, I'm the main event. One of you can fight me. Screw it, it becomes a triple threat match for the whatever title he's holding. Cody Rhodes stays a babyface the entire year, but the fans turn on him, and his promos get old and stale talking about his dad. It's the same thing week after week after week. He becomes a forced heel via the fans. Cora Jade wins the NXT Women's title. Cruz del Toro provides some nice high-flying moments, but nothing else. Dakota Kai wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Damian Priest challenges for whatever world title CM Punk is holding at the end of the year and loses. Clean. Dexter Lumis wins tag team gold with Eric Rowan. Dirty Dom gets kicked out of the Judgment Day, goes on a solo run, and wins a mid-card title. Dragon Lee teams with Rey Mysterio to win tag team gold, then turns heel on Rey and retires Rey. Spoiler, Drew McIntyre beats the ever-living out of the members of the Bloodline, the OG Bloodline and New Bloodline. Elektra Lopez wins the US title. Elton Prince continues to be an annoying sack of but wins tag team gold. Eric wins tag team gold 3 times with Ivar. Eric Rowan wins tag team gold twice. Ethan Page hits us with a smile and reclaims the NXT title. Finn Balor still can't win a world title, splits off from the Judgment Day, joins up with JD. Giovanni Vinci rejoins Imperium, helping Gunther retain the World Heavyweight title at the Royal Rumble, rejoins Imperium because of that. Gigi Dolan joins the Rumble, challenges for a mid-card title but doesn't win. Grayson Waller gets kicked in the nuts, whether it be by LA Knight or Austin Theory. Gunther loses the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania, doesn't win it again for the year, but has some major main event matches or feud level matches. He's in the picture at the very least. Ilya Dragunov returns to face Gunther, but doesn't win a title, and he loses to Gunther as well. Isla Dawn wins the women's tag team titles again. Ivy Nile gets to show her dominance and wins the IC title. Ivar wins tag team titles 3 times with Eric. Io Sky has some high-flying incredible moments this year. Some very big clip-worthy ones. Jacob Fatu. Solo! I love you. JC Jane teams with Thea Hall to win the NXT Tag Team Women's Championship. Jade Cargill feuds with Bianca Belair and Bayley to cement herself as a top-tier star. JD McDonough splits off from the Judgment Day, becomes Finn Balor's sidekick. Yeet! Jey Uso wins the IC title at WrestleMania against Braun Breaker. Jimmy Uso fails to win the US title, twice we'll say, one of which is due to major controversy. Jaquan Wild does something. Joe Coffey joins the main roster and has a rampage through the mid-card scene. Joe Gacy wins tag team titles with Eric Rowan. Johnny Gargano goes babyface and teams with Austin Theory. John Cena. John Cena has a bunch of PLE matches facing off against feuds of past, wins 17th world title at SummerSlam, breaking Ric Flair's record, only to then have it immediately taken and stolen by CM Punk cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Punk sits on the barricade like he did 11 years ago, or is it 12 now? Several years ago when I wasn't watching, as a callback to when he lost that Money in the Bank. I think it would be perfect there. They then go on and have a rematch at the next PLE, but not by Cena's choice. The fans would encourage him to do it again. You got a rematch. Come on, we want you to win it, presumably. And Cena says, I will never challenge for the world title again if I don't win it. And he doesn't. But he then goes on to win the US title and loses it the very next week on the very first brought back of the US Open Challenge. He does it and loses it that first week. Starts now, gone. Julius Creed helps dominate the tag team division with his brother. Kairi Sane has a pretty good tag team run with Asuka, we'll say. Carl Anderson has multiple tag team title opportunities, but never wins it. Karrion Kross goes on a heel rampage, destroying many superstars, many of the baby faces, but not challenging for a title. He just wants to prove a point. Katana Chance wins tag team gold with Caden Carter. Kevin Owens feuds with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, but also finally wins a world title again. Kit Wilson gets punched in the face by a fan that's actually another wrestler in disguise. Kofi Kingston gets launched out of the Royal Rumble by a returning Big E, or Big E disrupts his Royal Rumble spot where he's just saved somehow and Big E ruins it, whether he's in it or not in the match. LA Knight challenges for the US title again, loses. Challenges for a world title, loses. But then has a massive promo battle with John Cena that becomes a very historic and legendary promo that people study for years, and it goes off script, of course. Liv Morgan loses the title at the first PLE Raw show on Netflix, eventually gets betrayed by Raquel Rodriguez. Logan Paul challenges Gunther at Elimination Chamber, puts up a good fight, but eventually loses, because of course. Ludwig Kaiser wins the Intercontinental Championship, but spoiler, loses to Sheamus. Luke Gallows also challenges for the tag team titles a few times, but doesn't win it. Lyra Valkyria has a pretty bad year until she teams with a returning Becky Lynch who comes back at the end of the year, or that's when the team forms. Maxine Dupree accidentally wins the IC title by falling on another superstar in a triple threat or a fatal four-way or something like that. She just accidentally wins it. Michin does little of note for anything. Sorry. Montez Ford gets turned on by Angelo Dawkins, but gets to win the US title. Naomi forms the tag team with BFAB. Natalya finally retires. Nia Jax loses her title because Tiffany Stratton cashes in with the help of Candice. The three of them have a triple threat match at Mania where she doesn't win it back. Nikki Cross beats the crap out of Scarlett, wins a mid-card title kind of midway through the year, but she's always wearing the mask. I don't know why she took it off in this picture, but she's always wearing the mask. Oba Femi also dominates the roster, the mid-card roster, and then he's gone. He just disappears randomly and we don't know how or why. Otis finally gets his revenge on Chad Gable and Alpha Academy with a returning Tucker to reform Heavy Machinery, and they go on to win tag team gold at some point as a sprinkle in. But Pete Dunne joins Imperium. I don't know what's going on with him. He's got Tyler Bate there, but I haven't seen him in forever. Piper Niven feuds with Chelsea Green over the US title and wins it at Mania. R-Truth does some funny stuff the whole time. Elimination Chamber. Someone gets eliminated. He's not in the match. Someone's eliminated. He enters and joins the pod that's empty, thinking he's in the match somehow. Raquel Rodriguez betrays Liv Morgan, but doesn't win any titles. Now, there's two things that can be done for Randy Orton. One, he comes back, helps Cody retain at the Rumble, and then him and Kevin Owens have a feud at Mania. Or, personally, I think a better route would be Cody retains, beats Kevin, Randy comes out, attacks Cody, they have a triple threat match at Mania, Randy Orton wins the title. And then Kevin beats him at some point for the title, because I said Kevin's gonna hold one, and then Kevin loses to John Cena at SummerSlam, maybe. Or you put Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens and Cena or something along the lines there, but that's the two routes. Razar wins tag team titles with Akam. Rey Mysterio teams with Dragon Lee. They have a title run, and then he announces his retirement after Dragon Lee betrays him, beats him eventually. Ridge Holland injures another superstar, and then gets fired. Seriously, come on. The dude ruined Big E and several others. Another injury, he's gone. Mom! Rhea Ripley beats Liv Morgan, has a main event match at WrestleMania against a returning, spoiler, Charlotte Flair. Again, it was like the third time they've done it. And Rhea retains. Again. Roxanne Perez gets called up to the main roster, challenges for a world title, doesn't win. Maybe wins a mid-card title, but no title for you. Our tribal chief, Roman Reigns, wins back the Ulafala, but does not win any gold this year. No WWE titles, not even NXT. No titles for Roman Reigns. I don't think he wins anything. I think they keep it off of him. He's held it for a while. Let him build up a bit more. Sami Zayn plays a supporting role in other people's stories, but doesn't have his own main story at all. He's just the secondary character. Santos Escobar wins the US title because he paid off a ref. Scarlett scares the actual out of a child. I'm not even kidding. Has to go change her pants. The kid, that is. Shinsuke Nakamura holds that US title till WrestleMania and then feuds on and off for the mid-card seed for a while. Shawn Spears, Royal Rumble entrant number 10. Because of course he would. Sheamus finally wins the Intercontinental Championship to become a Grand Slam champion. Solo Sikoa loses to Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat, gives up the Ulafala, disappears off TV for a while, then comes back later in the year to beat up Roman when Roman's looking at the title scene. Sonya Deville continues to be underimpressive and underutilized and underworthy of my attention with Pure Fusion Collective or whatever the crap they call themselves. Next, Seth freaking Rollins will beat the crap out of Punk or have the crap beaten out of him. Will feud for the main event scene title again, but eventually, after all is said and done with Punk, shake Punk's hand, and then they go their separate ways and don't feud anymore. I think they will actually shake hands. You know what? Fine. You put in the work. You're okay in my books for now. I still hate you, but I'm going to do other things. Tama Tonga wins tag team gold with his brother Tonga Loa. The Miz wins his record-tying 9th Intercontinental Championship. Tiffany Stratton cashes in on Nia Jax to win the world title, or is it the WWE title? I know it's heavyweight in WWE. I call it world to consider both. She beats Nia for the title with the help of Candice LeRae, and the three of them have a triple threat match at Mania. She retains at Mania too because Nia doesn't. Then she eventually loses it to, I don't know, a returning Tommaso Ciampa turns on Johnny Gargano again, who aligned himself with Austin Theory. Tony D'Angelo gets called up in the WWE draft along with the rest of the Dawn family, or at least whoever's a part of it still, but it's not till the draft. And we're even gonna go a step further and say to Raw. Whoop that trick! Trick Williams gets a Royal Rumble entrant to where the next entrant is Joe Hendry. And they have a stare down. Joe Hendry isn't in NXT or WWE. He's part of TNA. He doesn't stay. It's just a one-off. But they have a moment in the Rumble, and then Trick Williams gets called up eventually. Maybe feuds with Carmelo again. Tyler Bate remains the big, strong boy. Uncle Howdy struggles with his faction at the beginning of the year, but then they turn things around, and eventually they have a major, it's #1 story, maybe against the Bloodline. They have a massive feud against another faction. Xavier Woods gets destroyed by Big E in the Rumble. Zelina Vega wins the US or the Intercontinental title, one of the mid-card titles. Zoe Stark doesn't do anything of note in 2025. All right, bonus time. Pentagon Jr. We already know he's coming soon. So he makes an entrance, a debut sometime soon, feuds with Rey Mysterio, has a stare down at some point with Io Sky because I know they had a mixed match in Lucha Underground. I think that's what it was called. But yeah, he comes in and makes big waves. Bigger than Andrade. Matt Cardona returns at the Rumble. Becky Lynch returns at Mania. Charlotte Flair returns at the Rumble, faces off with Rhea Ripley main event match. AJ Lee returns, eliminates Charlotte Flair at the Rumble. Charlotte Flair's face off with Rhea is backstage. Brock Lesnar doesn't return. The Rock shows up a few times, has a few moments, doesn't have a feud until at the very end he faces John Cena in December at some point for some PLE. Anyway, that is my predictions for 2025. All of the main event superstars, a few extra bonuses as well. Let me know what you thought. Thanks for sitting through the video. I've been recording for an hour, so I am tired and I don't know how long this is going to take me to edit, but thank you for sticking around with me. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next time.